This week we're going to highlight latest crop condition ratings as well as crop progress for beans. We're also going to take a look at the latest short-term weather forecast, and we're going to wrap things up looking at long-term trends in November soybean futures. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We moved in the second half of September here. Of course, that means it's time for soybean harvest. Let's start out this week, however, looking at trends in crop condition ratings. Now, we're looking at some deterioration as the crop condition ratings persist here at the end of summer. We're looking at a drop of 1 percentage point from 65% good to excellent to 64% this week. Notice, however, last year at this time was only at 52%. So although we're seeing some deterioration at the end of the growing season here, we're still well above conditions last year at this time. Let's now take a look at the history of the crop condition index. Now again, it's deteriorating a bit, which is usually what's seen this time of year. Still though, it's at the second highest level we've seen for this time of year over the last 8 years. Let's now take a look at soybeans harvested. We're looking at, on average, U.S. soybeans harvested increases approximately 15% between September 15th and the 29th. Now, USDA told us this week we're at 6% harvested nationwide, so weather permitting, on average, we'll see that harvest progress increase to about 20 to 25% by the end of the month. Speaking of weather, let's take a look at the short-term trends. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-storm weather. Starting out here looking at temperatures. Now, this is the map looking at the next 2 weeks through October the 1st. We're looking at much above normal temperatures across particularly the western Corn Belt. Now, notice as we move further south and further east, it's not quite as warm, but still most areas are forecast to be warm the next 2 weeks. Let's take a look at precip down for this week, for the next 7 days. Quite a contrast. Look across parts of Nebraska, Iowa, Minnesota, even northern Kansas and parts of northern Missouri. Very wet. Now, most of that precip is forecast to move in this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Notice, however, as we move further south, and particularly as we move further east, not a lot of rain in that forecast. So kind of a divergence in harvest weather here looking at the next week. A little bit wet in the west, in some cases very wet in the west, but pretty much dry in the eastern belt. Let's now quantify precip over the next 2 weeks. Now we're looking here at the map reflecting what we just talked about there. In that, the western Corn Belt, parts of Nebraska, again, Iowa, Minnesota, are going to be above normal the next 14 days. But as we move further south and east, particularly on the eastern Corn Belt, it's forecast to be slightly dry. Let's wrap things up this week looking at trends in November bean futures. Now, November beans, as we tape here on Tuesday, have trading right about 10.05 a bushel. So I want you to take a moment to look at this chart from now through the end of October, highlighted by that yellow bar. We're still looking at the potential for increased volatility, both to the upside and to the downside. That's why we continue to strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage price movement as harvest proceeds. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'd be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel and never miss an upload. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.